Hello and good evening, everybody. I'm Chris Ventura, and you are watching Frontline News, your #1 source for comic-related news and more. And we have a lot of news for you guys, so let's not waste any time and get right into it. Recently, Nintendo has announced that the Nintendo Wii, as well as the Nintendo DS and DSi systems, will no longer have internet access as of May 20th, 2014. Exclusive internet access will be for the 3DS, the 2DS, and the Nintendo Wii U. Well, that's a shoddy way of saying, hey, you're not buying our new system, so we're taking the internet away from the systems you already own. Good job, Nintendo. You're nearing bankruptcy, and you're screwing even more of your fans. Good job. You guys are the best. I don't know why you're all the way down in 3rd place. Somebody seriously needs to take over Nintendo and fix it, or else they're going to end up like Sega. Oh, poor Sonic. Doesn't even have his own system anymore. And then we get Sonic All-Star Racing. Okay, anyway. Moving on. Even bigger news. Matt Murdock has been deemed unfit to be a lawyer in New York City. So he's moving to Los Angeles to continue his practice. Go figure. You can't do something in New York. You're no longer allowed to do it. You go over to Los Angeles and they'll let you do it, no problem. Does give me an idea if this cast ever gets discontinued, we can always go over to Los Angeles and do it. Not bad, not bad. Okay. So anyway, we'll be right back. I'm going to switch it over now to Mike with the weather. So Mike, how is it out there?
Thank you, Chris. And now for the weather. As you can see around me, it is snowing. And it is freezing cold out here. Let me give an example of this. This is snow. It is white and wet and so cold. So cold that as of now, I can barely feel my tushy tush. That is for the weather. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Michael. Can somebody please get that boy at least a shirt? I mean, this is a PG show after all. He is showing, you know? Not that it's cold or anything. I mean, at least, you know, decency. Anyway, continuing with the news, Captain America 3 has been announced, and not only will it be coming out in the year of 2016, but Marvel will be competing against Superman Batman by releasing Captain America 3 in the exact same month. DC has already been rumored to be flinching and releasing their movie a week earlier than originally intended. Hey, you're starting to feel the pressure, huh, DC? See, now you got another movie that's going up against you, and now you're starting to worry. No comments have been from either Marvel or DC. This has been announced. This was recently announced with the red carpet event for Captain America 2. I'm only worried that every 3rd movie Marvel has released didn't do as well as the first 2. So hopefully Captain America 3 will break that unlucky streak. But man, Superman Batman, you better amaze, or else Captain America is going to come in and shield slap the both of you. Or shield bitch slap the both of you, I should say. Good luck, DC! Moving on, speaking of movies, there have been rumors that 2 other movies will be rebooted from Sony. First one being Zorro. Okay. I mean, Antonio Banderas wasn't that bad as Zorro, but I can understand that. I mean, fix a few things. And Men in Black. I thought Will Smith was good. I don't know why you have to reboot it. Sony, are you in a reboot phase? You know, you did it to Spider-Man, now Zorro, and now Men in Black 2 also? Oh God, I'm scared to see who they're going to cast. I'm really scared to see who they're going to cast. Okay, now we're going to turn it over to Spider-Man, who unfortunately signed a contract, so we have to at least give him one segment every show. So, over to you, Spider-Man.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
Spider-Man. Oh, God. Thank God he only signed a 2-year contract. We gotta deal with this for 2 more years. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, getting back into the news. DC Comics has announced that 5 years later we'll be getting the same deal as the Villain Month covers. They will also be getting their own 3D cover set for the month of September. What? What do you... Hey! Hey! Get out of here! I don't get paid enough to do this. So yes, DC Comics will be revisiting the 3D covers with 5 years later. I hope that they've already started the printing on these 3D covers. This way we don't have to worry about fighting each other for a 3D copy. Oh, speaking of the 3D copies, this past month, which is the month of March, DC has released their second printings of the Villain Month covers. They came out in September of 2013. Good job, DC. You're only about, what, 5 months late with your second printing of these 3D books? Sales for the 3D books don't look well. Gee, I wonder why. I mean, seriously, if you didn't make it on time and you couldn't get the second printings out like at least 2 months later, nobody's going to be interested. Maybe a few people. I mean, the sales do look decent, but not like super great. And $25 for Forever Evil 1 in 3D? Really? A second printing? Good job. Anyway, this isn't much better. Anyway, we're going over to sports now with Venom. So, take it away, Venom, my head.
Thank you, Chris, and greetings all you innocent fans and viewers, and welcome to this week's sports news. Today in baseball, what happened in football?
There is no baseball yet, Venom.
Oh, well, we don't know any sports.
Then why did you sign up for this job?
Because you're supposed to pay me for it. You promised. You promised us.
You did the news.
Well, we don't know any sports, okay? The only sport that we love is the sport of protecting the innocent and devouring the evildoers. Because we are Venom and that's who we are. Support the innocent people.
We seriously have to find somebody who knows sports.
Then you go and do that. I'm gonna go over there and devour someone until I get my money. I will be right back.
What?
Back to you, Chris.
Oh, I'm not even gonna thank Venom for that. Moving on with the news, Wolverine is rumored to be dying, starting with the new story arc that is coming out this June called 3 Months to Die. We might be seeing Wolverine, one of Marvel's hugest superheroes, dying. That's the rumor. All I have to say is, really? You're going to kill Wolverine? Just because you took away his healing factor? You took it away so you could kill him? Really? First you oversaturated the market with him, now you want to take him out of the market completely? Why did you renumber Wolverine in the X-Men then? Why didn't you wait till you killed Wolverine and then rename the title and renumbered it? Although they might not kill him completely. Who knows nowadays? I mean, DC's rumored to be killing Nightwing, and as far as we know, Nightwing's dead right now. Which DC better not do, because that's wrong. I don't care what Dan Didio wants. Anyway, continuing forward, more news with the movies. We actually just got this in. Sebastian Stan has been signed for a 9-picture deal with Marvel. Sebastian Stan is basically Bucky, aka the Winter Soldier. He will be the Winter Soldier, obviously, in Captain America 2. And rumors are already floating around that we might actually get a Bucky cap in a future Captain America movie. Chris Evans has already mentioned once his contract is up, he wants to take some time off. So it will be very interesting to see if we actually do get a Bucky cap, even if it is for 1 or 2 movies only. So now I'm going to turn it over, thank you God, to somebody else for once. I'm going to be turning it over to Brant and Zone 4. So take it away, Brant.
And thanks, Chris. And welcome back to the Zone. I am Brant Fowler.
I am John Wilson.
I am Gordon Demowski.
And I'm Captain Ron Portier. And hey, welcome to this week's episode of Zone 4. Interesting, lots of cool TV-related items, right, guys?
Yeah, some interesting developments in the world of comic television, specifically. So.
Yeah, DC's showed off the new Flash costume.
Yeah, it looked really cool, I thought.
Actually, yeah, I really like the detailing. Surprisingly, the boots, even the knee pads look decent. It looks like a runner's suit rather than a big, clunky, molded muscle suit.
Have you seen it, John? Gordon?
Yes, I have. In fact, I'm so impressed at the design. I'm almost shocked to believe that it's an actual DC Comics show. You know, it's kind of like Arrow. You know, you kind of think I could see someone back at at DC Entertainment going, they're either super hands-on or super hands-off, because this is really looking good.
I hope the latter is true, that they're super hands-off this time. Go ahead, Fran.
No, I like it myself. I've obviously, we can't be online and not see naysayers. And believe it or not, John, I've seen people who I wish you had that bright red molded outfit that Barry Shipp used to have. And I'm like, come on, you got to be kidding me, all right? Yeah, this thing looks sleek. You know, it's what you'd expect from a runner. That's what I like about it.
That's the whole point of the Flash. He is a runner. He's not this super muscular pick up a car over his head type. He's, he's a skinny individual.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, the whole molded muscle thing was so 90s, even when it started back in the 90s.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, like, who do we blame that on? Does that go back to Michael Keaton's Batman?
Bat nipples.
I think so, yeah.
Where he couldn't turn around in a fight, he move like a robot.
I think that was pre-bat nipples, actually, but yeah.
Yeah, it was, but.
But yeah, I think we have to blame that on the Tim Burton bat suit more than anything else. I mean, honestly, couldn't take his mask off without ripping it.
Yeah, I have to agree with John on this point, and it's rare that John and I actually agree on anything, so this is a first Zone 4.
Yes, mark down your calendars. It doesn't happen that often.
So, did you guys hear about the latest news on Gotham?
Don't get me started on Gotham.
Oh no. Totally gone off track, huh, John?
Oh, yeah, I think they've decided, well, we'll use the name, we'll use the character names, but, we'll blow most of the mythos out of the water.
Yeah, now it seems like it's focused more on Bruce Wayne, actually, because he's 12 now instead of 8. And his parents died when he's 12.
Right.
Do you get the feeling that someone at Fox called DC and said, hey, do you guys have anything like that Arrow guy that we can use? And once they got it, they said, okay, well, we're Fox, so we need you to do X, Y, and Z. I mean, does anyone get the sense that, Fox is a little bit of executive meddling, perhaps?
Well, I would almost have to say so. I mean, bad enough that they age Bruce Wayne at 4 years. But now they've got a teenage Selena Kyle hanging around, which puts Selena as older than Batman now.
Yep.
Not just that, but you have Gordon partnering with Harvey Bullock,
who's the seasoned veteran.
Right, who's supposed to be the seasoned veteran, despite the fact that Gordon had a good 20 years in age on Harvey in the
Right,
comics.
and Bullock was nothing more than an irascible, fat slob of a detective who bungled through every one of his cases, you know? Please,
He was,
you know?
he was a donut chomping, you know, he was okay when the chips are down, but,
Right.
you know, he was kind of a donut chomping imbecile.
Yeah, no Dr.
half the
Watson
time.
by any means.
Yeah, and,
Yeah, he was kind of an idiot cop who tended to stumble into success.
Exactly.
And then they bring Sarah Eason in, who, I mean, come on, let's face it, hardly a main character to begin with. But now she's the captain of the unit. And they're having her coincide with Gordon and his wife, Barbara. And if anybody knows the comics, Sarah ended up being a lover of Gordon, of Commissioner Gordon.
Right.
I mean, I got to ask you, because I'm reading the press release, all right? And maybe it is what it is. Maybe it's way too much corporate oversight on this, because the pedigree of the people involved, you know, is rather quality producers and writers.
Oh yeah, major pedigree.
Right, and I'm like, how could they get this so wrong? It boggles the mind.
You
It's
have a guy
Fox.
behind the Mentalist on there.
Right, they've got one of the former showrunners from CSI, one of the longest running cop shows on television. If anybody knows how to do a cop show, come on, all right? It's like,
Yeah, but there's two fundamental flaws with that. One is Gotham, because it's based on a superhero property, they're probably thinking it's a superhero show with cops in it. And secondly, I wonder if the crew was challenged to actually jump the shark straight out of the gate.
Well, probably. I mean, you've got Vivica A. Fox, and have you seen the name they gave her?
oh,
Is that the jute something, jump something,
No,
flip
like
something?
Fishy Mooney.
Oh no, that's Jada
That's
Pinkett
Jada
Smith.
Jada
That's
Pinkett,
Jada.
sorry.
yes.
As Fish Mooney.
Yeah.
That's her name.
Wasn't that an old vaudeville comic, Fish Mooney?
I
Yes.
think so.
Or wasn't
you
that
know,
like Ron, wasn't there a pulp sidekick named Fish Mooney hung around with some G-Man guy?
There you go, right.
I think he was the guy that juggled fish on stage or something. You know, but this
Well,
is
yeah,
not-
you know, he hung around with a G-man named what was his name? Ike Fowl. So it was called, you know, Fish and Fowl.
Where's my drum when I need it? But I mean and that's supposed to be the Penguin's boss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oswald Copperpot. There we go.
Another thing, you know, aging the Penguin considerably. I mean, he and
Yeah.
Bruce
Yeah,
weren't
but-
exactly contemporaries, but you know,
Right, but at least the same generation for these things.
right to make him have to deal with Batman, he's going to have a good. I mean, if they follow the fact that Batman goes overseas for 10 to 20 years and then comes back, I mean, all the contemporary villains he's going to have are be geriatric by the time he returns. You're going to have him beating up on old men here.
And John, to take that further, in reading other press about it, they see a 7-year arc where at the end of the arc, Bruce becomes Batman. So Bruce is actually going to be 19 when he's beating up bad guys. I mean, that just doesn't make any kind of logical sense.
Yeah, and to say 7 years to get all those skills, I mean, you know, talk about a lack of logical sense there. I mean, one college degree is 4 years long. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to college or anything, but, you know.
Guys, I'm sorry, we're getting cut in here. What?
Brant, you do know that the camera is only on you. It's not switching between anybody else in Zone 4.
Camera's on me. It's not switching between. Yeah.
What camera?
Camera?
Wait. Is the NSA taping us again?
Chris, you're breaking up on me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Moving on with the news. Wait, really? We're another right now? I didn't even get to do one set. I now turn it over to Kevin with some breaking news from the Pokemon world.
Thank you, Chris. And boy, I got some breaking news to tell you guys. Look at all these Pokemon cards that I have with me right now. I mean, this is just absolutely outstanding. Like, check out this. This is a holographic Scyther with 8,000 HP. I've never heard of something like that in my life, and now it's mine. Look, here's another Pokemon card here. Gyarados. HP is 1,300, or 1,300 if some people want to call it. And what else we got here? We got an Excadrill with 1,200 HP, and that's also a hologram. And that's not all. We got a Terracon. It's an EX card, and it has, wow, a whopping 1,800 HP. I'm gonna tell you, with these decks, I'm gonna be unstoppable. Let me show you.
Kevin.
What?
Those cards you're showing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're great, right? I know, it's fantastic.
No.
The best deck in the whole world, and I have it.
I hate to break it to you, but
What?
those cards you were showing, they're fake. The HPs and everything else, that's impossible. Those are
What are you
fake
talking about?
Pokemon cards. You got those at a 99-cent store. For $1.
So wait, I spent how many money?
Well, how many decks did you buy?
A lot. Like $50, maybe?
That was a waste of money because they're fake.
No! Back to you, Chris.
We seriously need to get more staff here, or else I'm questioning how long it's going to be before I lose my sanity completely. Oh, God. Finishing off the news this week, we have two more things. The Justice League is still missing, while the Crime Syndicate is basically taking over the New 52 DCU. And nobody apparently really cares or references them at all, except at the very beginning of this tragedy. Does anybody care that the Justice League is still not around except Batman? I mean, the DC Universe is more than just Batman, even though that's not what we're getting nowadays from DC Comics. We're just getting a lot of Batman. I tell you, I don't know what's going on in the DCU, but man, oh man, hopefully 5 years later will mean 5 years where people get common sense. Finally this week, Marvel has announced a free incentive to come out with the beginning of Original Sin, which is the death of the Watcher. And the free incentive is a eyeball. An eyeball. Oh, the Watcher's eyeball. So does that mean somebody actually took the Watcher's eyeball out of his eye, out of his head? You can't take an eye out of an eye. Oh joy. What fun times it is where comic readers get incentives like eyeballs with their comics. Hey Marvel, how about you fix your comic covers so we don't need gloves to read your books? But then again, Marvel might make a profit and actually create comic gloves. Leave it to Marvel to turn tragedy into a profit. And that's it for this week's Frontline News. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. And we hope to see you next time. And don't forget what you heard from the Vine. Just stick with Comic Frontline, which hopefully will be less crazy by the next episode. Thank you everybody for watching, and have a pleasant evening. Goodbye everybody.